Dear children, welcome to online classes of biology. So, in the previous classes, we have studied that microbes, how they are used in beneficial aspects for human being, isn't it? In household production products, in the formation of household products, in fermentation, isn't it? In making of beverages, in making of some biomolecules, bioactive molecules, etc. And now today we are going to see how microbes are used in sewage treatment. Okay, so sewage is what? The wastewater that are generated in the towns and cities, isn't it? Or the domestic waste. Okay, then it may contain what? Human excreta, and it will be very what rich in microbes, isn't it? Large amount of organic matter and microbes will be there in this sewage, and much of them may be pathogenic also. They may cause different diseases also, so we cannot directly dispose them into the natural water bodies, can we? Then it will cause a number of problems, isn't it? So before their disposal, sewage should be treated. Okay, so first it should be treated and then it should be released into the water body so that it will be less polluting. So this treatment is done, okay, by the heterotrophic microbes naturally present in the sewage, and this is carried out, this process of what the process of treating the waters, okay, sewage water is done in two steps, that is primary treatment and the secondary treatment. So primary treatment, when you talk, okay, it is mainly the physical removal of particles, means when the water is allowed to what stay means it will be allowed to remain in some place, okay, so that what happen, much of the components will get sedimented, and filtration also will be done, so large and small, okay, particles will be removed from like this, okay. And then these are removed in two stages, that is floating debris is removed by filtration. Any floating big particles, if it is there, that will be removed by the filtration, okay. And then other particles like grit, small pebbles, anything, if it is there, means large particles, they are small particles, okay, if they are there, that will be allowed to settle there, okay, so that is known as sedimentation. And the solids that we are getting from the primary sludge, okay, that forms the primary sludge, that is the grit, the soil, etc., will get sediment, and that itself is known as the primary sludge. The sediment form the primary sludge, and the supernatant, okay, the supernatant will be what taken to the secondary treatment. So primary treatment is mainly physical removal of particles, isn't it, by filtration and sedimentation. Filtration removes large particles, isn't it, large substances like soil, small pebbles, etc., and then the it will be sent for sedimentation, isn't it? In sedimentation, what happens, the soil, grit, etc., will get settled, and that forms the primary sludge. So what is primary sludge? That is the settled particles of primary, means in the primary treatment, okay, when water is treated in the primary treatment plants, okay, when the what the substances, when it is getting settled, that forms the primary sludge. Then the effluent, okay, the upper supernatant, that will be sent for secondary treatment. Now let's see what is secondary treatment, in what happens in secondary treatment, okay. The primary effluent will be passed into large aeration tanks. First, what it will be sent to aeration tanks, so where what happen, air is mechanically pumped continuously, okay, constantly the content will be agitated, means it will be stirred, and air will be passed into that. So what happens, this will lead to as what air is pumped, okay, this will lead to the vigorous growth of bacteria and what fungus into flocks. Okay, so flocks are what? Flocks are masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments to form some mesh like structures. Okay, so association of fungus and bacteria, okay, they what they will get what accumulated. Okay, vigorous growth of this happens, and as they grow, what happens is they consume major part of the organic matter. Okay, so as the bacteria, the aerobic bacteria, so primary effluent means what? The supernatant of primary treatment that will be sent to what? The aeration tanks. Okay, so in aeration tank only the first process of secondary treatment is taking place, and there what happened, air is pumped and the content will be agitated. So what will happen, as these the air is there, aerobic bacteria, they will grow, they grow fast, and along with fungus they form what? Flocks. Understood? And as they grow, okay, they consume what? Most of the organic matter. Understood? And this reduces the BOD. So what is BOD? BOD is the amount of the oxygen that we would be consumed if all the organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. What is BOD? Biochemical oxygen demand. What is it? Biochemical oxygen demand. What does it mean? It is what meaning that it is the amount of oxygen needed by the microorganism to consume what? The whole organic matter in 1 liter of water. Understood? So then the sewage water is treated till where? Till the BOD is considerably reduced. Okay, so BOD is a measure. Okay, it's a test measure, the means which can be used to understand how much the organic matter is there, or how much extent the organic matter is there, or how much extent the water is polluted. Okay, so BOD high means there is more organic content, and more oxygen demand is there, means more microorganisms are there, and you can infer that the water is more polluted. Okay, now once the BOD is reduced, okay, then the effluent will be passed into settling tanks. Okay, and where what happened, the flocks will get sedimented. Okay, and this sediment formed by the accumulation of what? The flocks is known as activated sludge. So primary sludge we have learned, grit, soil, etc., when it is sedimented in the primary treatment, isn't it? Here what, when water is allowed to pass into the settling tanks after the aeration, from the aeration tanks, what happened, the flocks will get settled, and this is known as the activated sludge. Okay, now a small part of activated sludge will be pumped back into the aeration tank, and that will act as the inoculum to start the new culture. Understood? So just like curd is adding to the milk. Okay, so like that as an inoculum, the activated sludge, a part of activated sludge will be going back to the which tank, to the aeration tank. Okay, and the rest, okay, is pumped into large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters. What are they? Anaerobic sludge what digesters. Here what, the bacteria which grows anaerobically, they digest the bacteria and the fungus. Understood? And they also produce this anaerobic bacteria, they can also produce what? Methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, etc., and they form the biogas. Okay, so that also we can use. Understood? And then the effluent from the secondary treatment plant can be released into the natural bodies. So this is what known as the means the use, or this is the use of what? Microorganisms in the treatment of sewage. So just imagine the efficiency by which the microbes do this work cannot be done by any other man-made technologies. Understood? So it's not so costly also, and it is what efficient also. Okay, the microbes do this work very neatly than any other man-made systems. Then, due to urbanization, what sewage production is also increasing. Okay, but the problem is we don't have enough what sewage treatment plants. So there are different what Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated Ganga action plan and Emuna action plan. So in that, what is what demanded is to increase the number of sewage treatment plants, and so that what happened, the pollution of the natural water bodies will be less. Understood? So in the treatment of water, okay, sewage water, how microorganisms are used, you understood now. So first, what, in two stages it will be done. The first primary treatment is completely physical process, isn't it, involving what, the sedimentation and the filtration. And in the secondary treatment, both aerobic bacteria, isn't it, aerobic bacteria are there that helps in reducing the BOD, and then it will be what, sent to settling tanks, isn't it, where and then what happened, the remaining part from the what, the settling tanks, a part of it will be pumped back to what, primary sorry to the what to the sediment. Okay, small part of that will be pumped back to the aeration tank, and the remaining part will be what will be pumped to anaerobic sludge digesters, where anaerobic bacteria also works, okay, and results in the formation of biogas. Next use of microbes is in the production of biogas. As you know, microorganisms, when they grow, they produce different types of gases, isn't it? Like in yeast, okay, yeast in dough, they produce carbon dioxide, isn't it? And some bacteria, like methanogens, okay, group of bacteria are known as methanogens, which can work on cellulosic material, means cellulose rich material. They can work, and they can produce what, methane, carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Understood? And these bacteria are collectively known as what, methanogens. And one such type of bacteria is known as methanobacterium. Okay, methanobacterium is a kind of methanogen only. So what are the major gases they produce? Methane, carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Understood? So where they work, they anaerobically, mainly they grow on cellulosic material. Understood? And this type of bacteria, they are very rich in the rumen of cows. Okay, in cows rumen it is found, and they help to break down the cellulose, and they help in what, actually they help in the digestion process of cattle. Okay, so because of the presence of this only, the cows are able to digest what, cellulose. Understood? Now the excreta or cow dung will have number of what, the bacteria, methanogens, isn't it? And this we can use for making gases like methane, carbon dioxide and what, the methane, carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Okay, so this property, that is their ability to produce carbon dioxide, methane and hydrogen, are utilized in the biogas plants. So biogas plant basically contain a concrete tank, okay, there in which the waste will be collected, and a slurry of cow dung is fed. So regularly a slurry, that is a liquid form of dung, should be fed into the tank, and it will have a floating cover, okay, that is placed over the slurry. And as the slurry increase, as the what, process of growth of this microorganism takes place, they start producing what, the gases. And as the amount of gases increases, what will happen, the lid also comes up, rises up, okay, and the biogas plant also has an outlet, okay, and that is connected to a pipe to supply biogas to nearby houses, okay. Then the used slurry can be removed through another outlet and can be used as a a fertilizer, okay. So as the slurry, okay, the means cow dung is easily available in rural areas, this can be utilized. So this diagram also is important, can also be asked, okay. So biogas plant, what it contains, mainly a tank, okay, concrete tank. It will have outlet for gases to get connected to the houses or uses, okay. Then there will be an outlet, okay, to remove the the slurry, okay, or the waste from the biogas plant. That is very good fertilizer. And there will be an inlet through which what the cow dung is added, okay, means in the form of a slurry. So this biogas production was developed in India due to the effects of Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi and Village Industries Commission, okay. So like this they have designed this, and this is useful for the production of biogas from easily available cow dung in the rural areas, okay. So in this also we are depending on what microorganisms, isn't it? In microorganisms only we are depending. So this is another use of microorganism for our benefit, okay. Let's continue in the next class. Thank you.